Hey man, I got hair again. Awesome. Yap, 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 yap. 40-minute rant on nonsensical something.
And believe it or not, coyotes.
You got any more?
Damn it. That was quite something.
If you're
Sit
listening,
down.
If you're listening at home, Trumpy Bear has taken over Travis's seat.
God bless Trumpy Bear.
Shout out to Big Mike. Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Chris Denman and Trumpy Bear. So we are live. We're live from Midcoast Studio in Grand Center. Big thanks to you for tuning in. Subscribe to the YouTube channel for the love of God. Make that happen. Midcoast Media Online. Travis will be here shortly. Was dealing with some stuff this morning, so he is en route to Grand Center, where we're located. Let's say hello to the man with the silver hair, Mr. Chris Gardner. Hey, Aunt Chris, how are you?
Oh, my camera disappeared there.
Oh,
Good morning, gentleman
Gentle Bear.
and Trumpy Bear.
Mm-hmm.
And good morning, Walnuts.
I left it in 2019.
Trumpy can't do it.
No.
Why the pause?
Nice. I'm into that.
Oh, bear humor.
I figured we'd just do.
What do you mean Travis had some stuff this morning? He texted us, said he's been in the bathroom all morning.
You're gonna.
Yep.
You're gonna air that out.
Yep.
Do you think it's because he wasn't actually in the bathroom all morning?
Don't know.
Okay.
It doesn't matter anymore.
It's out
You
there.
lose the benefit of the doubt.
Okay. Yeah. True.
Doesn't matter what it is.
At moment 740, it's now a thing.
Then no
where-
matter what it is,
Right.
it gets aired out.
Okay.
That's the rule.
All right.
He said he was in the bathroom all morning.
Mm-hmm.
All morning.
Now that does happen. Have you had a bout with tummy issues, tum issues?
Oh, every
I bet
once in a while.
You call it something like that.
Yeah.
Like your great aunt called
Oh,
it
my
that, so you
tummy
still call it
hurts.
that. Tum.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I had an issue this morning where I had the gas bubble, in the mid-abdomen.
Yeah.
Normally, I used to get that like when I would have like 15 screwdrivers.
Okay.
And so,
Your toes ever get numb after eating or drinking too much orange juice while you're drinking?
I don't know.
Okay.
Problem is I had too much vodka in that orange juice to probably tell.
Got it.
So that actually hit me this morning, and I'm like, oh, I haven't had this in a while.
Did it give you like a weird sense of like, I remember this?
I flashed back to being at like Humphreys.
Okay.
Yeah, because I remember a particular bad bout at Humphreys once, when I was being there on Penny Pitcher night on a Wednesday. And then, of course, when it's Penny Pitcher night, I'm still drinking vodka and whatever
Makes
else.
sense. I get it.
But I had like a little flashback to that, dealing with it, because that one was like 20 minutes long. And it's painful. You can't really do anything.
Mm-hmm.
You're just trying to get rid of it.
You don't have any
You're trying to push it around, and like, how does this thing get out of here?
Do you like pregnancy stretches or anything?
No.
Is that a
the
thing?
problem was I was trying to smoke, too, while this was going on.
So sorry to hear that.
And I fought through it like a good smoker would.
Yeah.
And I think it's on its way out right now.
Oh, you're still working on it.
Yeah, I think
So
it's
will we
just
have
about gone.
a gas expulsion on the air?
I don't think so. I think we're past that.
Okay.
It's starting to settle.
All right.
It feels a lot better. It's actually, though, I mean, it puts you through a lot mentally and physically when you go through something like that.
Should I call St. Louis Counseling?
It wouldn't be a bad idea.
Okay. So we'll look into that.
Mhm.
So for now, everybody can send their thoughts and prayers to
Those
Chris
always
Gardner.
help.
They definitely
help.
do. Interesting. So that you're going through about this morning, but
Yeah.
you managed to make it
I
here.
think-
What time did you get here? 7 a.m.
I got here a little before 7.
A little before 7. You made it in.
Yeah.
How's that bus treating you?
I did the Uber today
Oh, okay.
because I realized I ran out of coffee at home.
You know we have
And so, yeah,
free Snappy Bigman right here.
I do like Snappy Bigman. The thing is,
You've got a process.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need it for the ride in.
So I stopped. I'm like, I'm going to need to make multiple stops this morning. So I did that.
What kind of Uber driver did you get?
Actually, a guy I know,
Oh, okay.
old bartender.
Was this okay? So was this a text deal?
No,
Oh, okay. It
just
was
happened.
just random.
Yeah, bartender I know from around the Central West End, and he picked me up. We had a nice little chat on the way in. I get him every once in a while. It's always
Okay.
pleasant.
Good for you.
Yeah. It's either him or a older black gentleman usually.
I
And
saw.
it used to be, will he be listening to smooth jazz on Watercolors on
Yep.
Sirius XM radio, or I don't know what it is anymore. Would it be the Tom Joyner Morning Show?
Got it.
So it was one of the two.
Now, I was at the grocery store briefly yesterday, and I saw an Uber situation where a guy got out and an older black gentleman was driving. And when I came back out, the guy was still inside grocery shopping, and the driver was waiting, but he'd cranked up said watercolor station.
Did he?
Cranked it. I'm telling. Maybe it was just because it was a time of day and it was quiet at night or something. You could hear that thing throughout the whole part. I was like, that's really loud for a subdued musical taste, if that makes sense.
Right.
It was so loud.
They,
But he was enjoying it.
well, when the sax solo is going on,
That's what you
you
got to
wanna hear
enjoy.
it.
Mhm.
you want to hear it. And then I mentioned I think I mentioned on air the Uber driver I had several weeks ago who she told me she had narcolepsy.
That's generally an issue in rideshare
Yeah, and
situations.
that made me a little uncomfortable.
Mhm.
And then, what was the other one? Oh, there was one where it was an older black gentleman who picked me up, but as I was getting in, he switched the radio station,
That's what I love.
and it went to Imagine Dragons.
Yeah.
So it's on Imagine Dragons while I'm getting my ride.
He hit the button that said white people shit.
Yeah. And then I get out, and he had the music a little loud to where you could hear it through the car, even when the doors are closed. And I get out, shut the door, and I'm walking
Flipped it.
to where I'm going, and I hear it kick into something else. And I'm like,
Were you offended?
I just kind of smiled.
He got 3 stars.
I
didn't he?
like how I got profiled though. No,
Yeah.
he got 5.
I
I don't
didn't
think
put music-
I've ever given any other thing than a 5-star rating, no matter what.
I think the time
I don't need that to come back on me.
I had it pretty close to 5, and then I fell asleep in that front seat of the Prius in Los Angeles with a very, very small Asian woman that wasn't speaking a whole lot of English.
Mm-hmm.
I have reason to believe that maybe she took my rating down a few stars.
Oh, see, I don't
and
know
I think
what
that's
my
okay.
rating
I think
is.
that's okay. Maybe she didn't want me sleeping in her front seat of her car.
I've only given drivers 5-star ratings.
Yeah,
How do I find what my rating is?
should just be on the beginning of the profile, right? Or should you say profile?
Profile. Oh, okay. I'm a 4.96.
Nice.
Is that good?
Yeah, I think that's really good.
Someone didn't give me a 5.
How many rides you have?
That's a good question.
Yeah, it feels like that's a good.
I don't know. I've had a decent amount, I think.
Yeah, we'll have to have people
no-
leave their Uber ratings in the comments.
But now I'm wondering who didn't give me a 5.
That's gonna bug you all day.
Is there a way to find that out?
No, it's anonymous. I guarantee you.
I'm going to call them.
I guarantee you, there are Uber drivers that only give out 4s, like out of principle. Don't you think?
Maybe. And maybe that's what
Or they're
I ran
petty?
into.
Like you left a long hair in their car and they take it out on you.
That could be me.
You think that could be it?
My hair's all over this office.
It certainly is. I'm like, who's bringing in the hot middle-aged chicks?
Mm-hmm.
After hours.
I
Oh,
like-
wait, it's Gardner.
You guys don't see it, but on the weekend, sometimes when I come in here and clean up a little bit on a Sunday and get stuff ready for the week, I'll go along the baseboards just with my fingers.
And it's your hair.
Because you can group it there. It'll kind of
Oof.
collect. So I make a little ball and throw it away.
Does it look like those tumble weaves I see
Yeah.
all over the place?
Yep.
Man,
Yeah.
we have got some weaves in this town.
Yeah. So there's certain areas where it collects,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of know where those are now. So I try to find those once a week.
Good for you.
A little bit behind me here.
So we don't
just
have
along
we
the
don't have guests walking out with
yeah.
balls of gray hair.
So I try to get them. I don't get them every time. Sometimes they pop up, and I'm like, how'd you get away from me?
We'll look into that a little further.
But
We've got Make It Racist on the rundown.
yeah,
Let's go ahead and do that now.
no, we will not.
No, you don't
No.
want to do that. Okay.
That the segment would then literally be the topic, because it's
It's true.
2 white boys
Mm-hmm.
doing Make It Racist,
Yeah.
and that would be racist as hell.
I heard something yesterday. and this is just such a direct example. I'd like to ask him about it, and I appreciated what they were saying. Do you feel like whenever it's 3 or 4 white folks in a room discussing something like NFL coaching, where there is an issue with black coaches? I was listening to our friend Randy Carricker yesterday, and they were making really good points on how 70% of the NFL is black, and the coaching does not reflect that at all. Because people aren't getting opportunities, basically, is what it rounds out to. You don't have guys getting quarterback coach jobs and then working their way up. I couldn't help but think, like, what if as 3 white dudes on a sports talk radio show are sitting there kind of saying that and breaking that down rightfully, like they were making good points and listeners were giving them some pushback here and there. Where do you stand on, well, what about you guys? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? You're in a city that's, has...
I think that's been a struggle at times within the industry.
Yeah.
And you could see that.
Mm-hmm. And nobody asked them that. I bet they would have tackled it wonderfully, as far as an explanation or anything else, because you had DeMarco Farr on their show.
Well, yeah, that's how it all started.
Right. They had DeMarco, and then he was replaced by Chris Ranji. White dude.
Eventually. There was,
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had mixed in a few others as well along the way. But I think that's a struggle within the industry even still.
Yeah.
Which is why you see certain efforts made
Mm-hmm.
to find pairings that are more diverse. Particularly on television, though, I think it is.
Well,
because
Brooke Grimsley made a great point.
Optically, you can see it then.
Well, yeah, too. Especially, it's going to reflect the area, and if there's a large black population, like let's get somebody on there. If like she said, on the West Coast, a lot of Asian anchors on them in certain areas. So I don't know. It was just something interesting I would have liked to talk to them about, because I think they would handle it. They'd explain the process, I bet.
Yeah, Randy would.
1,000,000%.
Yeah.
So that was just a thought. Other things happening in your life this week. Sophie's. You ever heard of it?
Yeah. Been there here and there.
That's right. Tonight, 6 o'clock, 4 o'clock drink special start. Come get your happy hour on at Happiest Hour in Grand Center. Got a great lineup. It'll be Kate Barton, Rich Braun, our friend Will O'Donnell, and then Angela Smith's going to close it out. She's moving to San Francisco for the year, so we're going to send her off in style. So come out and support tonight. We've got some friends from Young Professionals of Gateway Pet Guardians. They're going to be there. May or may not have a dog. There's an allergy issue with one of the comics, so we don't want her exploding on stage. That could be an issue, but Jack Daniels presents that. Proud to bring you Jack Daniels specials. Eric behind the bar takes great care of everybody, and we've got Schlafly specials as well. It's another great night of free comedy in Grand Center. Join us, won't you? 6 p.m. Come by right here, 3224 Locust. Gardner, we promised we'd talk maritime law for 40 minutes while Travis is making his way from the bathroom to here. I don't know if you have any updates on that for us.
No, I'd like to just talk to someone. I'm trying to find the best maritime lawyer in St. Louis.
Who do you think it is?
There's a certain firm.
Is he going to have a cool name? Maybe Tugboat Tommy Smith.
Yeah, do you get something like that?
You have to, because there's generally some sort.
Oh, it's Brett the Barge. Something alliterated.
Oh, you should have seen him talk down the defendant in the case of the missing life raft.
Maritime Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. I think there is a firm called Goldstein Rice, I think it is.
Interesting.
Maybe that's not it.
I don't feel like that's clever enough for a maritime law firm.
But there's one that is right on the riverfront, it seems like. And that's the one I'm kind of targeting to see who they got. I just want to know how it all happens.
That makes sense.
Like, how do you become a maritime lawyer? What makes you want to be that? And I think that's kind of where my interest lies with it. But I think that's the one. I have a friend. He told me what it was the other day. It's Goldstein and Price.
Okay. They're the preeminent maritime law firm.
Goldstein and Price. So I think
Okay.
I'm going to look at them and see. What
We'll
they
look
got.
into that.
Mhm.
I'm going to tweet this out. I'm going to try and get some Uber rating information. If you got Twitter at We Are Live Radio on Twitter, give us your Uber rating. Let us know why it is the way it is.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I'm curious to hear.
Australia fires are happening. Have you looked into this much?
I've watched.
Have you read? It's horrific and it's horrible and it's very, very sad. 500 million animals killed, all kinds of displaced people. It's horrific. Have you seen where a ton of people started these fires?
I had. Well, you got to be careful. with
No,
that
no,
info.
that's what I'm saying. You have to be careful on that. But are they saying I read something that they arrest?
If you're hearing
anything?
200, you're looking at the wrong information.
No, it was like 12.
Okay.
What the hell?
Chris is a climate change denier.
What? No, I'm not talking about that
Nope.
at all.
If that's your first point, you're
That
a denier.
I talked about how horrific it was for
Yeah.
the whole time.
Um.
No, but have you seen that?
Yeah.
What's going on? What have you read about that?
Just that climate change is a threat multiplier that has made these just horrific.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
But no, but
and the majority of fires are not arson.
no, but in this specific case, this
No.
is not arson.
There's some. Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So there are people that started some fires.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I think the key point though is to focus on why they're spreading.
That's perfectly fine. But I was wondering why the hell would people start multiple fires?
You're asking why arsons would arson?
Yes. In a coordinated effort, like that's,
I don't know about that. That's what
like
I'm
is
not
it,
sure.
that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
we're not going to use the Dark Knight quote right here.
Oh.
Oh, did you want to? Good morning. Nice
Good morning,
to see you.
everyone. Hi.
How's the
hey,
bathroom?
Trumpy Bear.
Yeah, I told everyone you were in the bathroom.
Thank you. Actually, that's another story, but I want to finish this really quickly. So, arson's going arson?
Uh-huh.
Okay. What
Yeah.
else?
I don't know. I don't know about the motivations. For whatever was happening.
Some men just want to watch the world burn.
And
Literally.
I think what some people have done is focused on the arson of it,
Yeah.
and instead it's a distraction as
Yeah.
to actually why the fires are as bad as they are.
Mhm.
So that's why I say
From
be careful with
Newsweek.
that.
24 people have been charged.
I think
For
I thought it was
deliberately-
23 or 24.
Yeah, about 24 people, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, 24. Say deliberately lit blazes during the wildfire season that has so far killed at least 18 people. Okay. I wonder, too, if this was just like, this is like normal. It happens all, like people just randomly start fires all the time.
It could. I mean,
Yeah.
and that's the thing is I don't have a great command of, like, this is where I'm ignorant with
Yeah.
it.
Mm-hmm.
But they'll explain to you why it's done what it has, though. Like it, even with arson being involved, it shouldn't
Right.
be like this.
Right.
Is
Right.
what you would say.
Absolutely.
I just thought that was crazy that there was a 12, and I didn't know if they were coordinated or separate.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But it's I mean it's, as it's been said, an ecological disaster.
Yeah, they're talking about nearly 500 million animals. We always joke about Australia as far as what can kill you in Australia because there are so many not only animals but different types of species that exist.
The first animal like I remember really being afraid of as a child, even before bears, was like getting a National Geographic and seeing the box jellyfish and like how they had
Sea snakes were that for me.
and then
They're the most poisonous in the world.
and like how they in Australia along the beaches they had like little fences in the water to try and keep some of the box jellyfish out because they were these big things and they would sting and hurt, and I was like terrified of a box jelly because I think when I first saw it I was like 4 or 5 in a National Geographic, and my family was living outside Orlando at the
Right.
time, so I was spending a lot of time on the beach. And so then I see, oh, beach, oh, box jellyfish, as a kid. So that's the first like fear, really big fear of an animal. I remember having that and alligators when we lived down there.
Have you guys seen the photos from Australia?
Yeah,
With
Terrific.
the animals all charred?
yeah,
That's horrible.
man, it's terrible. I mean, I don't know how you look at those pictures and don't feel anything. You know,
Is it 18 people have passed?
I think
Was that- is that
Chris
what the
was
number?
quoting a Newsweek article, I believe it was.
It's 18 people. That's
Well, no, I was saying 24 people were charged.
no. I'm
with
saying whether,
deliberate
but as
arson.
far as the damage, I know you read off some estimates, but did you also mention some casualties?
Just the animal casualties
Okay.
from the people I didn't see.
Oh goodness. Well, that's absolutely
Just because
horrible.
that number is so insane.
I know a lot of people. I know a lot of the money makers, the celebrities, are starting little campaigns here and there to do what they can to help. It's
Well, I mean, you look
tragic.
at how the Arizona one started with the
Yeah.
fucking gender reveal
Yeah.
Yeah.
gone wrong. So it's like things, and I don't know what they classify as arson either as well. You know, is it deliberate or is it could it be an accident in some way? I don't know how it's classified.
The one from Newsweek said that the 24 were deliberate.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's a good clarification to have.
That's so fucked up.
But that was similar to what took place. That was asserted what took place in Brazil, right? With the rainforest. That there
Possibly,
were
yeah.
Pockets of individuals who were
Oh, that
attempting
was-
to set parts of the
that's-
rainforest on
That
fire.
was a coordinated effort. Yeah, that was bad.
So it is.
I mean, and the conditions are such that when that happens, it turns into disasters now.
I don't. And again, this is beyond my purview. Certainly beyond maritime law, I'd imagine. But I would imagine these could be considered eco-terrorist acts.
I mean, that was my point of even bringing it up.
But I think, I mean, it makes sense. In a weird way, is that what's going to take for people to start paying attention to things we need to do in regards to addressing climate change? We need eco-terrorists essentially setting valuable parts of the world on
So-
fire so people can start paying attention.
So that's a thing. Like that's definitely a thing. Like there was that we've talked about that Kevin Spacey movie to prove his point. Like he went through with the death penalty and all that. But do you know what I'm talking about?
I mean,
But
I think if anything, I don't know the motives, obviously, behind these folks who are setting these fires, but in a weird way, they oddly bring the necessary attention to how the climate has indeed, in fact, changed. And this is kind of in your face, factual. Oh, I don't want to hear a doctor talk about mumbo jumbo about how the seas are rising. This is a way for eco-terrorists to say, look, all I got to do is just light a match in a small part of an Australian forest, and voila, half the country's gone.
which is not the way we'd want it to change, but for
Yeah,
sure.
I would answer your question that question with I don't think so.
Okay.
Like it really needs to impact people personally for them to take notice.
That's pretty close to being personal. You're talking about half
No,
a
it's
billion
not.
animals.
It's still not though.
Still not enough?
No, I mean because
Alright.
it's not personal. Like, look,
I'm just saying
we're
that
in America.
Yeah,
Does
that's
it
true.
affect Americans? That's how we view it.
There's in England in
And
particular.
what's that movie?
I can't remember. I've brought it up like
I'll look
50
it-
times. Where the guy he does it, where they put him to death, and he
Life
made
of
it
David
to what,
Gale.
Life.
Okay.
There you go. No, in England in particular, there are what I would call extremists in regards to like wild animal welfare, and then what they'll do is they'll go light, like you'll have a dog trailer with a bunch of hounds that can sniff out whatever you're hunting, foxes or something like that, and they'll go light the trailer on fire with the dogs in it to prove their point that you shouldn't be hunting. Like that's a real thing that happens a lot.
Yeah, and it's
But that,
and that is extremism.
yeah, which I would call that if that was in fact the goal. If these 24 people are connected, then yeah, that would be extremism also.
Yeah.
Knowing that the conditions are so bad to be like, well, we'll prove a point. I'm completely speculating, but
But to your point,
that's not
point,
good.
Gardner, I mean, I think the focus should still remain on how in the hell.
Yeah, here's why I want to make sure I'm clear on this: is that there's media controlled in Australia. You have a prime minister who's a climate change denier.
Of course.
Similar
to-
and you know, I shouldn't say climate change denier. Let me make sure. Man-made climate change denier.
And
That's what we're
very
focused
similar,
on when we say that.
and very similar to Brazil's president as well.
And also a media run by Rupert Murdoch.
Yes.
And his family, and we know what they are.
Right.
That when their stories are headlined that way, they're focusing on that part of it to take away from, and this is a concerted effort. This is a move in particular
Yes.
to control messaging and narrative.
Absolutely.
That they want the focus to be, oh, you know, this wouldn't have happened if, you know,
Right.
people didn't start the fires.
Right.
Well, that's part of it.
Right.
The big part is they wouldn't have spread and taken over your country. And when they talk about Australia on fire, it's not like 50% of the continent is on fire.
Right.
Because a lot of it, in Australia in particular, is not inhabited.
Right.
We're talking about the percentages in the areas where there are people.
Right.
And where there are people, there's a high percentage of fires right now. So that's also important to break down when you're trying to visualize what's going on there. And just that, that's why I say what I said, because don't buy into the headline of it from particular news organizations within Australia and even their own government, who people are fed up with, it seems, because this is the conditions are there, not only in Australia and other places as well, for this to continue. And it will continue.
Right.
It's not going to slow down. That's why we laughed at the lousy rat bastard of ever, Donald Trump, when he was like, yeah, we need to rake more in California. And those are...
The Republican solution to climate change is raking the forest fire, raking the forest floor
and you need
in
to,
California.
I mean, and you need to tend to things like that.
That's unfortunate, because there are conditions you can remove to do like
Right.
but that's just maintenance. Like that's just maintenance stuff.
Right.
That's like
But it's maintenance, I think. And again, I think it's to suggest that maintenance hasn't been taking place.
Yeah, and that's another thing that Australian media is trying to suggest, or certain Australian media is trying to suggest, is we haven't been doing the slow burns or whatever that are required, but they have. They still have been, like, that hasn't stopped.
Right.
And if people are telling you they have, they're lying,
Right.
or they're listening to the wrong people.
That's what I was gonna say. I hadn't tuned into the to the alternative facts. This is but I see what you're saying.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying that they're trying to control the message a certain way, and that's why you need to kind of keep the focus, I think.
I mean, and look, I'm not saying this is going to be the turning point. You wished what was happening with the rainforest last year, and of course the California fires would have been a big enough wake-up call, but my God, there are burnt koala bears online. Is that not enough for Americans to go, hey man, let's sit down and figure this shit out? Like,
it's the koalas.
The koalas, man. How can I thought we was a koala country. I thought we loved koalas. And we see burnt koalas looking like old ass burnt marshmallows on the side of a road. That doesn't drive people to go, man, you know what? That's not normal.
I know exactly what you mean whenever you said like Americans too, like tend to our stuff, but like Australians for sure. Like, how do you not, like, half your country just got torched, and we can say the same thing about one of our biggest, most important states in California. That like what? Yeah, when are you gonna just at least just start working towards a scientific solution?
I think to Gardner's point, I think it has to essentially take an American city. And frankly, I think we're pretty close if you look at places like certainly New Orleans. It's going to take a major American city to be basically 60% underwater for people to go, yeah, maybe we should. I think the reactionary response is just, it's unfortunate.
People don't want to change their lives.
And that's scary. And I think it's something that if we continue down this path, and again, I don't
you have to have people that have... You have to have people that are going to have the masses' interest in mind.
But here's my question,
so
though.
The thing is, you're going to have to make certain things affordable if you want to take certain changes. Part of that is going to, so you need to get rid of, fossil fuels, right?
Sure.
So part of that is going to have to switch in terms of what kind of cars and such we drive, and even the production of those types of cars. But to get there, how much is a Tesla right now? How much are electric cars and stuff like that?
Roughly 50, 60,000.
So you can't look at it and this is where capitalism gets involved. Is you can't be looking to strictly make a buck off people when you're trying to change this whole thought process. And if you are, then we're fucked to begin with.
Well, that was my next point.
You know what? All right, maybe you're right. Maybe we should just let it all fucking.
And I feel like
because if you're not in,
so Rust Cole told me.
Yeah. Hey, that's why.
Hey man, hold on.
I am not going to disagree with that. Anytime Chris reads that, I will smile.
Yeah.
So
burnt koalas, man.
That's
Come
why
on,
you're trying to find ways of other renewable energy in particular to make it more cost effective. And the things I've seen too is even economists would say to do nothing is going to cost you more
In the long run.
than
Well,
it
yeah,
is to
that's-
do nothing. Because when people
But
go,
that's
well, you
what
have
I-
to do this, you have to do that. They're like, oh, we can't afford to do all that. What it's going to cost, like, because this is where we don't understand. Is like, it costs this much billions of dollars in damage in a particular event, right? That's not something we feel or is tangible to us as people, right? We just are like, oh, that it'll get fixed, but we don't know what we can't really feel that. We don't
Immediate
see
impact.
that in front of
Right.
us, so it's hard to process, and I understand that.
From
But I would find that. Oh, go ahead.
from a listener in the conservation area. I know this woman, she's a friend. Kim says prescribed controlled burns are good for maintaining healthy habitats and help remove tinder that leads to uncontrollable wildfires. Travis is right on with the maintenance.
Yeah.
So my question is also, you talk about long-term forecasts. Farmers do that all the time. So I'm trying to understand, how isn't the American farmer now at the forefront of this discussion? Because they're going to be, you talk about that direct impact, you talk about that immediate impact. I feel like the American farmer has felt that for years now. This isn't a new phenomenon for them. So I'm curious, why isn't there a voice, a conglomerate of a group of American farmers that are saying, hey, no, seriously, this is going to start to cost you at the grocery store. We're going to start to lose this agriculture superpower that we have with
Who's to say
whatever.
they're not?
Like, but that's, I guess we're not seeing it, or I'm not hearing it, or I can't find it. Maybe they need better PR. I'm not sure, but it feels like the American farmer is well respected, has been the backbone of this country for a very long time, and I would imagine they're being drastically affected in more ways than maybe we're even hearing about. It would make sense for, with all due respect, American farmers are prominent conservative white men to want to step up and essentially say, no, seriously, we can sit up here and play tennis games and go back and forth about the bullshit about climate change, but there is a direct effect, and it is going to hit our pockets, whether it's today or next week. So I just don't understand why that isn't a thing. I don't understand how the American farmer isn't pounding the desk on Rachel Maddow or Sean Hannity every other week saying, no, cut the bullshit. Don't worry about what the politicians are saying. The fact of the matter is, this is harming the American economy. This is going to harm the American economy for decades to come. And this is harming us, the American farmer, the very backbone of what many would say American society. So I am just a little bit frustrated in that they haven't had more of a voice, or I haven't heard much from them. At least personally, I haven't.
Travis Terrell
there's a-
personally blames all farmers
I
only
didn't do that.
for
Oh, boy,
this.
that was not what I was attempting
And
to do.
you think they
No, I
have a
don't think
PR issue? They can't communicate.
FarmersOnly.com.
I just want to see. I don't know.
Why don't you go
the
be their
right
mouthpiece?
always has these. They have the caricatures that come out when we're talking about gun control, when we're talking about immigration, when we're talking about war in the Middle East. They always have these caricatures that they roll out. I don't understand. Where's the guy that represents the quote unquote American farmer that comes out and goes, "This is bullshit." I'm surprised that there isn't one yet. It's to the point where it's silly. Stop saying it's a left issue. That's dumb. Yes, it's the left who just wants to breathe clean air. That's stupid. Shut up.
Well, the reality is it has become a political.
Football. Absolutely.
Which is the strangest.
Which is the strangest thing in the world.
Well, and this is where, like, when you get into both sidesism type of
Sure.
deal, and like it or not, one side has chosen to use scientific facts, one has not,
True.
and that's where you are. And if you don't accept that, then you really can't have a discussion on
Very
it to
true.
begin with.
Very true.
So it's where you start. What's your starting point, and where are you going to take it with a conversation with people about it? And I know people that I like that are like, "Oh no, this is it's bullshit." And I go and I ask why, and they're like, "Well, we've had they're going to make money off this." And I go, "No. Tell me what's wrong with the science. Tell me what's wrong." Well, I don't. I go, "Here's the thing: you don't know. You're ignorant. You're dumb." And I've said that to them. I go, "You don't know. You're a smart person, and you're good at this type of deal because that's your bailiwick. Like,
Yeah.
say this is where you know things.
Right.
This you have no fucking clue.
Woo, daddy.
And so don't try and portray it just because you know other things that you understand this,
Right.
because you don't. And that's all you need to tell people. And just tell him in a calm manner, even too, because it'll piss him off even more.
I hate I was late to this conversation, and I'll be completely
We were
honest.
talking about maritime law when you came in.
Okay, cool. Because the reason why I was late to the conversation is because I know it's
Get
gonna be
some
hard for you
climate
guys to
change in
believe.
that ass.
Man, I tell you what, I, Travis Terrell, am a hero, and I'll tell you why. As I was driving into work, I was at a stoplight, Grand.
This is why you were behind?
This was why I was actually supposed to be here like almost 10, 15 minutes ago, but I had to actually be a hero. There was a homeless man getting his ass kicked on one of the corners on my way into the studio, and I couldn't believe my eyes. I was at a stoplight. I was the only one, and I looked to my left, and I see these two men, and then I see the very larger man, who's about 6'7", 240 pounds, begin to then pound on this homeless man. I don't know what the homeless man did or said or what happened. All I saw was the end result. Naturally,
You ran and drove away?
I was going to, but I said, you know what? This is my city, and I'm not going to stand by and allow crime to take it over. So I flagged down a cop.
You went to a cop?
I did not go to a cop. I want to make this very clear. I was not snitching. I simply flagged him down and subtly pointed.
So wait,
Mm-hmm.
where intersection was this?
I think this was Grand and Locust.
It's right up the street.
Right.
Yeah, not too far.
Okay. So, do you know this man was homeless, number one?
The man had the appearance of
Okay.
homelessness.
Black or white?
He was African American.
Racist.
Damn it.
So you automatically assume he's homeless.
He had on clothes, and he
Was
had
he
a,
holding a sign, and did he have a stick with a bandana at the end of it?
specifically he did, yeah.
looked
And
like
he
a
had on,
transient
and then
like
he also had on
Gotta hop on the back of a train.
He's a vagabond.
Yeah.
he had camouflage too, so I would imagine that's usually the uniform. So yeah, so he was homeless.
What are you saying? He's a homeless veteran?
It's possible.
The VA hospital.
Nah, look, if he's a homeless veteran, that makes me basically Black Captain America.
So, a hero
Yeah,
would intervene,
I did.
would go over there and stop it.
I called the necessary authorities over to help in
But-
that matter.
But
Because
Like
from the-
passively waved at a police officer and then drove on.
Hey!
did you
Hey!
did you get out of your car?
No, that's I was.
So wait,
did
you
you hear where I was driving?
You didn't even get out of your car.
There was no need to do that. First, why would I need to get out of the car?
Like,
What would that have
well,
served?
Because someone was getting their ass beat.
Right, and I recognized that, and I was like, hey!
Now, and you just pointed?
I pointed.
So you're a hero because you pointed?
I'm a hero because I intervened.
Or did you allow someone else to intervene?
I allowed the authorities to take over the situation. I'm not a vigilante.
Because you were never involved in the situation.
There's a
truly,
difference
to
between a
begin
hero
with.
and a vigilante. I'm not Batman out here. I'm not going to
You're
sit
not.
up here and jump in between a 6'7" man, 240 pounds, and I can barely get out of the car and get up the steps to this office building without taking 15-minute breaks. I simply thought, in this situation, what would T'Challa do?
So,
T'Challa, hey!
well,
Hey!
T'Challa probably would have went over there himself.
Oh, T'Challa, this ain't Wakanda.
But
I'm
you
just-
asked yourself, what would
T'Challa
T'Challa
would
what would
intervene?
T'Challa do?
He would not see another. Oh,
would T'Challa go in there himself?
T'Challa probably takes the time to alert authorities in the same way I did.
So T'Challa's first move. What was that face?
His first move, the
You
first
couldn't
move.
even look at me.
T'Challa
You could
would've-
not even fucking look at me.
T'Challa would
You
have
had
done.
to like.
Excuse me, officer. There is a man over there who is being beat up by what appears to be a very large football player.
So Black Panther's first move
Mm-hmm.
is to alert authorities before going to intervene.
He would have been, hey, you, policeman, look, violence, intervene.
And then Black Panther just goes on with his day.
No, to
Black
be,
Panther said,
to
I
be
respect
fair,
your law, and I know how you shoot at black things in this city, so I will be on my way.
Black Panther would have went to his own country and not helped anyone outside of
No,
it.
that was T'Chaka, but it was T'Challa who realized that it's important to reach out into these communities. And that's what I did today. I don't live in St. Louis City. But you know what? This is my community. This is where I work. This is where I grew up. And so I said, you know what? Not today. Sorry, We Are Alive. I'm going to be a little bit late. But someone has to be the hero.
Someone has to snitch.
So waving as you drive?
Nuh-uh. You didn't hear what I said. Did you hear the story? Hey, woo!
Did the
That
officer?
took 15 minutes.
And I had to make sure the police officer saw me. And then I also had to decide, damn, who's going to shoot me first? The guy that's beating up the homeless person or the cop? So I was like, I'm really rolling the dice here. Here we go.
So
The
who?
problem is you didn't hold your phone up and down, film it, and yell World Star.
No, I wasn't necessarily. I wasn't going to film that. I was not going to let that man know that I had witnessed his crime. I was doing whatever I can to make sure to let that man know.
It seems in these situations, I'm speaking from experience. I think that you think for some reason think a lot about yourself first.
I'm noticing this.
Just an
What do you mean?
observa-
What do you
I
mean
also
by
have
that?
a
Well, like-
breakdown, too.
Like, for example, when I almost had my arm trapped in the elevator,
Okay, that was different.
you ran away, and I guess your way of intervening there was you were going to go alert authorities or emergency crews
Exactly.
again. So you didn't personally get involved, really. And
you're welcome, by
so
the way.
you were thinking of yourself more than anything, because you even acknowledged that you didn't want to see anything horrific.
Why do they
happen.
call it self-preservation? Think about it.
Yeah.
So how can I be of help to Chris or yourself if I'm hurt?
Well-
I can't help you guys if I'm not healthy.
Yeah.
That's silly. So I got to think about
But
my
it's- but
safety first before I can help you to safety.
No. Self-preservation is what it is. It's helping. It's about you.
Look at
And,
Billy.
and you even said you were a coward, and you were brave for admitting you were a coward, right?
I was very brave. I think that type of bravery we just don't see in society today.
Admitting you're a coward.
Admitting that out of fear and some form of cowardness can also lead to you being a hero because it alerts others that danger is nearby.
Wouldn't the person intervening be the hero?
Well, according to the law,
So, like-
sometimes
like-
intervening
okay.
could lead to you actually being a part of the crime.
Okay, so here, in this instance, your story from today,
Okay.
where you are a hero.
I am indeed.
If the news were to come down,
All right.
and who are they going to talk to?
Right.
Are they going to talk to you or the police officer that went and broke that up?
I'm not about the celebrity. I'm not
Alexis
out here
Zotos
trying
live on the scene with this gentleman. What just happened, sir?
I don't want to go into too many details as it's not about me right now. Did I intervene as a hero should? Absolutely. Was I witness to the totality of the crime? I don't think that's important right now. But what I did today is what I hope other St. Louis citizens are willing to do when they see crime happening in their community.
So
And
did
that
you-
is, oh, ah! And that's what I did. By me alerting the authorities in that voice, with that noise, I was able to save a life of a homeless veteran. Tell me what you've done in your 2020. You're welcome.
Travis has been called the king of justification by a listener.
So really, you did nothing.
I was a hero.
Oh.
But again, I'm not bragging about it. It's just something I want
Well,
to
it's just
alert
staying
you
humble.
to it.
Yeah.
That let you know that
Do
that's why I was
heroes
a little
call
bit late.
themselves heroes?
I don't know. What will they call themselves by their names? That would be stupid. No, I did what I had to do. If I had to do it again, I would. But that's what
Would you do it differently?
Maybe I would have been. Oh, there.
Or your sound would have been different?
Maybe try out that.
Would you have personally involved yourself to stopping the beating?
I did personally involve myself. Who do you think was there to
No.
intervene?
Would you? No.
Would I have gone over to put myself in
See,
between?
here's the thing. You did not intervene. Intervening would be taking it a step where you're the person who stops it. You are not that person.
No, see, that's
no,
that's
no,
not how
no.
intervention works.
No, it's
You
most
intervened
certainly
in
is.
the cop's coffee break.
Yeah, that's what.
You could have yelled yourself. Hey, knock it off over there.
Did you yell anything at the person?
I don't have the legal authority to be able to separate those
What
two.
do you have the legal authority to do?
I don't have much.
I
As a
hope
hero,
this turns into a Seinfeld thing where
As
you
a-
get in trouble for not helping enough.
as a hero, it's not, and that's the thing. The law often says, get them involved.
What do you mean the
alert
law
them.
often says?
The law
isn't
sa-
isn't a law written and just
Man,
it
look,
says?
look. I wish the law was written for everyone, but one thing we know about the law in this country, it's not. And so I didn't have time to think about the legalese. All I said to myself was, you know what? There is danger. And I, in some way, shape, or form, should intervene. And I did just that. And I alerted the authorities. And I'm surprised that you two aren't more excited and proud of me because I did something that you two probably wouldn't be willing to do. Chris, you probably see crime every day on your street. How often have you notified the authorities? Never. Gardner, you know criminals. How often do you alert authorities? Never. So for me to step in, being the celebrity that I am, international screenwriter, Sesame Street fellow, an individual that has been a pillar of his community, for me to step in, for me of all people, should hopefully be a shining example to the rest of the world that you too can make the difference.
From the Black Sheep, what's more full of shit, Travis or the toilet that made him late this morning?
And you know what? I think had I not spent time in the bathroom this morning, I may not have had the testicular fortitude.
The what?
To testicular fortitudes, because my intestines were full.
Yeah.
But because they were released,
Uh-huh.
I was able to say, "Hey, ooh!"
Did you guys know there was
What?
some lyrics written about Travis?
Yeah.
Did you want to? Can I? may
People
I?
they're already writing songs about my glory.
Real quick.
Um,
Was your immediate thought, how do I stop this without getting hurt?
or noticed or tied to it in any possible
Was that
way?
your immediate thought?
My immediate thought was, how effective can I be in this situation?
Yeah.
Sorry that I thought about it.
And you didn't think you'd be effective by actually intervening yourself.
I thought that would have made me less effective because if
You've got your athletic wear on,
thank you.
athleisure wear.
I just thought in that moment it would make no sense if the criminal in this instance was beating both of us up. Therefore, no one could
What if he
then
was
intervene.
beating you up
And
then
allowing
allowed
him-
Yeah. Wouldn't that have been more noble?
Well, then who's gonna save me?
Exactly.
But that's what the homeless man's probably thinking in that moment. Who's gonna save me? I saved you, homeless man.
Homeless man was thinking this, and they say that a hero can save us. I'm not going to stand here and wait. I'll hold on to the wings of the eagles. Watch as we all fly away.
That's right.
Someone told me love would all save us, but how can that be? Look what love gave us, a world full of killing and blood spilling. That world never came.
Love didn't give us that.
I'll remind you, and they say that a hero can save us. I'm not going to stand here and wait. Travis was not standing around waiting.
I did not.
I'll hold on to the wings of the eagles.
That's me.
Watch as we all fly away.
And I flew away right into the studio.
Hi. Now that the world isn't ending, it's love that I'm sending to you.
Thank you. That's powerful words. Powerful words.
Yeah, it's from immigrants too.
Yeah, Dr. King. I
Canadian
could not. I
immigrants.
could not be.
Nickelback.
Those lyrics speak to the heroism that I put on this morning, and appreciate the text. That's pretty motivating. That kind of makes me want to go out there and continue to be the hero that I am.
I need a hero. You like that one? Or is that the song we're gonna play for you now?
That's probably what
Gateway Powder Coating is a hero of mine, Travis.
that is it now, Chris.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Chipped wheels, they're looking bad. Take them out. Get them redone. Touch them up. GatewayPowderCoat.com for more information. That's Gateway Powder Coat, #1 resource for powder coating in the Midwest. Gardner, Travis, synopsis of the hour. Travis.
I've never met a more cowardly hero.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Travis is an invisible hero.
I wouldn't go that far.
He supports eco-terrorists,
I
hates
sort of.
farmers,
Not necessarily.
and is feeling empty because of his time in the restroom this morning.
Well,
In the what fortitude?
testimonials.
Testicles?
Testimonials.
Mm-hmm.
Great first hour.
Oh. We learned about heroism.
You're
Yeah.
welcome. Sorry. I'm an Avenger now.
Yeah, if that's the case.
Yeah. Time for a break.
Eesh.
Maybe share a cigarette with him, Gardner. Let's get him lined up.
Yeah, I think we need to teach you what the word hero means too.
Are you a hero because whenever the power got surged here yesterday, power was out in the building for a little while yesterday.
Oh, really?
Are you a hero for having to take the stairs down 3 flights
Man,
because the elevator was out?
I'm a hero in so many ways.
Good
but
point.
taking the steps just showed that I'm an athletic hero.
Why are you blinking that hard?
Oh, man. Josie Scott just shed a tear somewhere right now, but he doesn't know why. I think that's one of the guys who was part of that hero song.
Oh, we don't have to pay him. Shit.
Yeah. Is YouTube going to pull us after my poetic rendition? We'll take a quick break. We're live at Midcoast Studios. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, people. We'd really appreciate it. Midcoast Media. Quick break. Be right back. Welcome back to the show. It's We Are Live. Chris Dem and Travis Terrell and Trumpy Bear in the guest seat. If you missed last hour and you're watching live, you can go back and check it out on YouTube or Facebook. Comedy tonight, Gastropit, guys. 8:30. We've got 5 comics. It's free, and there's barbecue, people. Free Comedy Thursday every week, thanks to Jack Daniels.
Travis,
It's a
you
good
could
time, man.
get up there on the mic and tell everyone you're a hero. That'd kill.
But that's not what it's about.
We have a triumphant reading that we'll start the show with by Mr. Travis Terrell.
Am I a great American?
Okay,
Of course.
there it is.
Did I save a life today? Absolutely. If you're an attractive woman and you're looking for a hero, am I the guy? Definitely. Do I want your body? Probably. Should you shower me with praise and love and hugs and possibly sex? I would. Should I run for office? Maybe I will. Ah, that's hot. That's hot. That's hot. That's hot.
Yeah.
That's hot, Chris. That's hot. That's hot. Spicy. Spicy coffee.
Spicy. What do you
Spicy
mean?
coffee.
I thought
Hot.
the temperature was hot, not the.
Blech.
Is it? Did you put sriracha in it? What?
Spicy.
Is it hot temperature wise or hot like
Just spicy.
curry?
It's like spicy.
I don't. Do you know what spicy means?
Pretty spicy.
I don't know if you know what spicy means. We know you don't know what hero means.
That's quite true.
Found that to be very apparent.
I hope my heroism is recognized by the newest Americans that will be joining our beautiful country
What?
here very soon. I don't know if you saw this, Chris, but
Do you kind of always do you get like a sick feeling in your stomach when he starts in like this?
well, I would like to be the first, certainly on this show, to welcome Prince Harry and Meghan Markle and that beautiful Archie to America! That's right. This beautiful couple is deciding to do away with their senior royal duties
Oh.
and hit it out on their own, Chris. They're gonna do this whole life thing. Get this, without the help of the royal family.
Oh, is that
Oh,
right?
how about that?
They're going to denounce all their stuff.
Well,
and
they're
start,
not. Well, whoa. They're not
you said
denouncing
without
it.
the help.
Look.
So he's
now,
just
hold on now.
he's just
Hold on
Harry
now.
now.
Hold on now.
Yeah.
It's like a royal gap year,
Does he have a sign?
indefinitely.
Does he have a sign?
Going backpacking through North America.
Yes.
I
They're
think
going
that's
back
awesome.
to the urban streets of America.
Harry can
Who
only
is
be a sign. He
Philadelphia
can be
is?
addressed as a sign now.
I cannot wait until Harry opens up a fedora shop in Vegas, and I
And
think
Megan's got like a self-help line of lotion.
that, and then she's gonna have like a bachelorette party series where she's like a host, and she like, oh, for the exclusive princess package, you can have me, Meghan Markle, host your bachelorette party. Think about the money she would make doing that.
Are they gonna have a reality show here?
Oh, now that's the thing. That would go against what what they've been discussing over the last few months. It's kind of, the rumor has been out there for a while now that they wanted to separate themselves from the family. It just, there's been, the British tabloids say there has been
was
a,
that accent?
I saw it was John Beebe in the room for a hot second. But essentially the tabloids have reported that Meghan and her husband, they just have been at odds with certain traditions and things that they should do, certain protocol, and that has rubbed the Queen a funny way. The Queen, though, loves
Being
Prince.
the Queen.
She loves being that as well. But I think it made more sense now. Now that the Queen is older, it looks like obviously Prince Charles, maybe sooner than later, will ultimately take over the throne. Obviously, Prince Harry will never become the heir. So there is.
Oh, he could. I've seen King Ralph.
Oh, boy.
Like anybody could really get it.
That's a good point. That's a good documentary reference. I'm
Yeah.
glad you brought up King Ralph. But no, good for them. This is very cool. This is the internet apparently blew up at this announcement. It's I think they've been discussing it for almost half a year. so I
Are
think it's
Americans
not
more
just-
infatuated with the royal family?
Oh
or the
man, we're
British?
up there. We're definitely up there with it. We love it, especially with The Crown and its success on Netflix. We love the royal family. Man, it has been like a renaissance for them. This is we are into it because I mean, democracy cool, but as you can see, it can also be a pain in the ass.
Well, I
so
mean-
sometimes it's good to go, hey, monarchy, this ain't bad, especially when you don't have any power.
Yeah, but that's not really a monarchy anymore. Then.
Yeah, but still, for appearances, that's kind of the best part, though. You can be a king and queen without all the icky responsibilities.
So what do they get the money for then? Just for being who you are?
Yeah,
That's something.
essentially.
That's weird.
But I thought this was smart because they can now come to see now when you're over in England, you are the biggest stars. There's no one bigger than you. You come to America, you ain't even you don't even have the biggest YouTube follow. Like there are influencers that are more important than you, so they can truly blend into the background and they can be the 8th most popular celebrity in Malibu. No
What if-
one's gonna
What
bother
if they
them.
start a rivalry with like the Kardashians?
Now that would be smart. That would be a strong play. But look, Hollywood already loves them. They have I think they're friends, a close friend with Serena Williams and her husband. So and Meghan obviously from the States. You know what time it is. It makes more sense. And look, let's be real. Some of the tabloids over in England were just a little bit. They were going too far. Some of the things they were saying about Meghan
Like
were
what?
they were just being very, very ignorant.
what'd they say?
So it's my beautiful man. That's a fine princess.
Doesn't
Prince
know,
Harry did good.
does he?
Okay.
You don't know.
You don't think the Queen looked at him and said, "You are the weakest link"?
Wait, what? Who do you think the queen is? Do you think that was the queen?
Oh, they
That
better
was
do the voiceover.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. I don't think that was the queen. I think she was just an actress.
You're the weakest link. Goodbye.
Hey man, that's kind of
That
that's
could have been the queen.
it's-
Was that not the queen?
but that's Prince Harry's
What
MO.
proof do you have that it wasn't the Queen?
That's a good question. I don't have any proof.
All you have to do is look it up.
Yeah, sure. I don't.
That would have been your
Sounds
proof.
like a lot.
It does.
Yeah, I don't want you to intervene in this conversation that we're having.
I'm excited though. Are you guys? I hope they throw a party, a house party specifically. One, I
How
also
about a
didn't.
cookout? That would really ingratiate themselves
That-
with everyone.
Brought
You're
my
right.
hot sauce.
In an extraordinary move, and after spending 6 weeks away in
They
a
could serve spotted
multi-million-dollar bolt hole in Canada, the couple said they wanted to take a progressive new role and leave their roles as senior royals. The couple said they wanted to make their own money, adding they will now split their time between
Okay.
the UK and North America. Unprecedented statement, they said after months of reflection and internal discussions, we have chosen to make a transition this year and starting to carve out a progressive new role within this institution. We intend to step back as senior members of the royal family.
So are they junior members now?
I guess so.
How's
And
that
work
work?
to become financially independent while continuing to fully support Her Majesty the Queen. It is with your encouragement, particularly over the last few years, that we feel prepared to make this adjustment. We now plan to balance our time between the UK and North America, continuing to honor our duty to the Queen, the Commonwealth, and our patronage. Makes sense.
Does it?
Hang out in North America. I mean, they got spots in Canada. They got spots in Cali.
I think they're going to be okay.
They're gonna be just fine. Lovely couple. I enjoy them. They are delightful, and that son of theirs, delightful, so adorable. Little Archie, what a great name for little Blake Griffin. Little Blake Griffin baby. That's gonna be.
Oh,
It's gonna be a Blake Griffin British baby.
is that why you really like it?
I'm just doing the math. But yeah. good for
Okay.
them.
Now we have it.
You love Blake Griffin, baby.
I do love Blake Griffin babies, boy. You know how I feel about Blake Griffin babies, man. Especially when I'm shooting the club up top, Chris, huh? No? Okay. That's
there
my
it
first
is.
one of 2020.
That is.
See?
Nice job.
Huh.
The hero
that's
we didn't
where we
ask
are.
for, Travis Terrell.
The hero you
The
did.
hero we didn't ask for, never will ask for, yet somehow we end up with.
You're welcome.
Oh,
Somebody's got to do it.
do they?
Yeah. Now I had a.
Yeah, it feels forced. Like you don't have to. do it.
But I feel like I need to. Somebody to speak up for my girl Meghan Markle. She's had it rough. She, and I think.
Are you going to intervene?
Man,
Did
she-
you intervene here, or did you tell someone else to go do something?
in this instance?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I don't need to. But I'm glad you're bringing up my heroic moment of the day.
Uh-huh.
I appreciate that. Share that with your friends. Let your media
Oh, I
friends know
will.
that I did this, that
I
I went
will.
out of my way to be a hero today.
I will let them know.
I wanted to save this for a Great American Race next week, but it just cannot wait.
Okay.
I can't hold on to it this long, Chris. I am sorry, because this is just such a hilarious story, because the headline is just beautiful. Coach John Beilein apologizes to Cavs, says he meant to call his players slugs, not thugs. Story broke yesterday. I guess during a film session, the Cleveland Cavaliers head coach, John Beilein, former Michigan basketball head coach. This is his
Isn't it
first
Beilein?
year.
Or
Is it
is it-
Beilein? 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 Okay.
Are
Beilein.
you combining Bayheim and Beeline into one thing?
Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Okay.
It's not that important.
Well, we figured it out at least.
But he, of course, he spent many years, of course, at the University of Michigan. This is his first year with the Cleveland Cavaliers. He's been struggling to connect. There are stories before this one broke yesterday that he's had trying to connect on that level with professional basketball players. Huge transition from college basketball. He's been struggling. Had a film session yesterday, and during that film session in the hotel, I guess he said his team was playing. You guys had stopped playing like a bunch of thugs.
Slugs.
He said the word thugs in the film session.
Slugs.
To which the room apparently, a large hush came over the room. A couple players, it was reported, kind of left the room a little bit disgusted by what he had said. I guess his coaching staff brought it to his attention. I guess, according to Beilein, he didn't realize he said it. He thought he had said slugs because of the sluggish play they had been showing previously. Once he realized that he had indeed said the word thugs, he then called up his players individually and told them that he was trying to say slugs. And according to Beilein, he said the players understood. I haven't read anywhere as of today comments from Cleveland Cavaliers players. I don't know if this will continue to boil over. I'm willing to give, I don't know. I was sort of kind of willing to give Beilein the benefit of the doubt, but that is buddy, that's a weird slip of the tongue. That is a weird slip of the tongue. Now, I know mistakes happen. I, for one, certainly know about misspeaking. I have done it my entire career, so I certainly sympathize there. However, this is man. And the reason why I'm willing to give him just a small sliver, because the guy, I would think that a man that has spent majority of his career working with young African-American men, that he would know better and would be conscientious of saying something like that. Being a head coach, University of Michigan, college basketball, now the NBA, I would think. But man, I've never heard, Chris, tell me if I'm wrong. In my years of coaching, in my years of watching the game, playing the game, I've never heard a coach say you guys are playing like a bunch of slugs. I've never heard. I've had coaches. Look, I've seen coaches from all walks of life here in St. Louis. St. Louis, one of the most segregated cities in America. And I've seen them from the Hill to Chesterfield to St. Charles. I've heard them say a lot of things. I've never heard a coach say, you guys are playing like a bunch of slugs.
Yeah, I've been talked to like that.
Have you heard a coach say to you, you playing like a slug?
Yeah.
A slug.
I'm sure.
A slug.
Do you want me to say?
I'm asking you. A coach has told you,
I'm
Chris,
pretty-
you guys are being sluggish, or you guys are being slugs?
I've been called a slug.
Okay.
Look at me. I don't know. I mean, if he says it in his everyday
That's
life,
a good one.
he's an old guy.
I'm a slug.
I mean, he's an older guy. It's not out of the realm. It sounds like a reach, but I don't know if he.
No, you're right.
he
It's not
says
out of the
slug.
realm. You're right. And I think because it's not out of the realm, I don't believe he will. I don't think he'll be terminated. And again, unless.
Terminated.
No, I'm just saying. Here's why I say this is one. It's always been a players' league. It's been a players' league for decades. It's certainly more so now. It's also a very socially conscious league. And they're very, very sensitive about these
Unless
things.
it comes to shoe sales
Well,
in
yeah,
China.
maybe another country. That's not here or there. Fact of the matter is, a lot of black players play the game of in the NBA. I think the league is about close to 85 to 88% black. And they are very socially involved. They're very sensitive to the description. We saw how sensitive LeBron was when Phil Jackson just referred to his crew as a posse. And look, I'm not saying I'm not one sitting up here calling Beeline racist. I don't think I've heard anyone, and again, I'm not on Twitter, but I don't think anyone's even suggesting that. I think people are a little bit skeptical behind the slip of the tongue. Now, if he had said, "Oh man, I was tripping. I was tripping." I said and maybe he realizes that by acknowledging he said thugs, his career as an NBA coach is likely on the line, potentially over. So maybe that's why he conjured up this, "Oh no, I said slugs. I didn't say thugs, I said slugs." So maybe he's hoping that that's convoluted enough to keep him around. But I think ultimately it's in the hands of the Cleveland Cavaliers players. I think the way they respond to the matter.
I would agree with that.
I would say however they respond to it will ultimately determine whether he'll remain as coach of the Cavaliers. And only they, I think, in that moment, I think they should be the ones that ultimately decide, whether to believe him or not. Because you have to play for the man. If you believe he was... If I'm another NBA player, if I'm on the court, I'm using that against them every fucking chance I get. I was like, oh yeah, how's it like playing for your massa? You bunch of thugs. If I'm an opposing team, I'm throwing it in your face. And Cleveland and those players are young, so maybe they're like, man, no, he didn't mean slugs, he meant thug. Get him out of here. So we'll see. But I thought that was fun. I've never heard someone say, oh, look at those slugs over there. I mean, unless there were actually slugs over there.
What if there's slugs?
Get the salt. What do you think, Guard? Do you think the slug? I mean, you've been around a lot of basketball, and I know there's a slip of the tongue is very possible. But slugs, have you heard this in any sport around any coaches?
No, but I don't know how it.
Okay.
What I do know is that individuals have ways of talking themselves.
True.
So that's. I don't know if he's used it in the past or something like that, like as a
bunch of
way.
slugs.
Yeah.
Because
someone might.
Slugs is
People
good.
talk like that.
Yeah. Now it's an interesting slip of the tongue, yes, but like you said, I don't think it really matters what we all think.
Right.
It's a players' league.
It's a players' league.
The players were in the room. They understand the context of everything that was going on. The coaches do as well.
Right.
More than anyone else. It's going to depend upon them. That's where I definitely agree with you.
Okay.
I don't know if I've ever been called a slug.
I'm trying to honestly think,
He's an older fella.
He's
though,
old. He's 66. I've been around older coaches too, older than Beeline.
I have a friend who uses colloquialisms like phrases that I would never even think to use. Like, I was in the National Guard. I kept, you never saw the Russians get across Belleville, or like, oh, that's as funny as my dead brother's funeral or something like that. And they use these phrases that I would never think to use, or words I would never think to use. So I don't know how Beeline talks. Slugs is a curious one, though.
Slugs, but look, he I think what also saves him is that the Cavaliers have been playing poorly. They have been playing quote unquote sluggish.
Yeah.
So it's not as if it was completely out of left field.
Correct.
So I'm again. I think ultimately, yeah, if the players say, yeah, we believe you, coach, then I think that's the end of the topic and we move on. But, man, I've been around the game of basketball for a little bit, especially recently. And and you're right. Coaches from all walks of life, all generations say things differently. And Lord knows, even when I was a coach, I said things that even the players were like, huh? As one would imagine.
You make that, and then you eat Rihanna's ass.
Like, what, coach? I don't think that's a play. Yeah. But that was I think if anything that caught everybody by surprise was the explanation. And I think, again, if the players buy it, we move on. If not, oh, man, Beeline may have to call it a career.
Yeah, he took it serious enough to contact them individually.
I didn't like the statement that they were all okay. I want to hear the players first before you
Yeah.
tell me that they're okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
You don't get to be the guy who says the offensive thing and then tell us, oh, yeah, I told them, I apologize, and they were cool with it. Wait
What
a
if
minute.
that's what they want?
The players have their own voice. Like I said, it's a players' league. They're on Twitter 5 seconds a day.
Well,
If that's,
do they all go on Twitter and talk about it?
I don't think they did. I think
So
it's
then they may have came up with a.
I think that may be an in-house thing, and maybe right now they're thinking, "What is this? What did we hear?" They're probably, if I would imagine, today, this morning, thinking, How does everyone feel before we go and start screaming on Twitter and talking about head should roll? How does everybody feel about the situation? I hope.
That would tell me they don't think head should roll, or they take his word for it.
No, I think. I mean, each individual.
Here's the thing: if they're not okay with it, and who said that they were okay with it?
Right.
Who said that?
Beeline said in his
Okay.
statement when he was
If
saying
they're not
that,
okay with it, then it will now come out.
Yes.
Because if
Yeah,
you
that's
say
what-
if
that's
you're
what I'm
speaking
saying.
for others, then there will be an issue. So
They're going to be
and
asked.
actually by saying that it will force an issue
yes.
simply because no, I'm not okay with it, and now I'm going to talk. So
Right.
so we'll find out soon enough. Then,
Yeah, I would
think.
imagine we'll find out very soon.
Yeah.
They're going to probably
That's not
do
something
media
that-
availability
yeah.
before, I believe, the Cavs game tonight. And so I would imagine that a journalist at some point would put a microphone and a Kevin Love's face and a Sexton's face.
Kevin
and say,
Love, that's the player you'd go to.
Oh, he is the highest paid player on the Cleveland Cavaliers and essentially the face of the organization.
Well,
right
Somebody
now.
calls me a thug. I don't give two shits.
But Kevin Love knows. Kevin Love, he grew up in L.A.
But
He
wouldn't
grew up
that-
playing with
but
a
wouldn't-
lot.
I just think that would be the same as talking. I mean, he's the one person I wouldn't ask.
I think as
The
far-
reason Love makes sense is because there's been reported friction between Love
Right.
and Beeline.
Right.
So with that being the case,
But he
maybe-
wouldn't be one of the players who would be offended.
I think he can, but I
But
think
he would have the temperature of the room,
Right.
and
But
also
we just said we didn't want to. That we wanted to get direct impact from the players
I'm
who would
s-
be affected. By
I'm saying if you want somebody
well,
to
he is affected by it just simply because he's the face of that team.
right.
So he's still the face of the team, and like when anything goes wrong within, especially in hockey, who do they throw out? You're throwing the captain out there to talk,
Throw
right?
Pietrangelo out, right?
So no matter if he's not indirectly, he'll be impacted simply because he's the face of the franchise as
Right.
it stands. So you're going to want to hear from the face no matter what. Is he particularly the type of player you want to hear from? No, not necessarily. But you're going to want to hear from the person that's kind of the leader in that room, no matter what color they are.
All right. And then again, I'm willing to. And again, I'm willing to. I would fight. I just think even in 2020, and in a day where we hear everybody in every position say a little bit of everything. I think I want to believe that Beeline just simply long hours like a lot of coaches have, and he meant slugs, and he just got caught up in the moment. I'm willing to give him that because again, everything about and it's all. And I always say this a lot. It's always about context. At least I have never seen Beeline caught up in anything of this matter throughout his very long, storied career. So I'm not going to sit up here and say, well, that's how he's always thought. No, we don't have any evidence, at least nothing that I have seen documented, that shows that he has a history of behaving like this. And I would find it very difficult in the state of Michigan to recruit Michigan basketball players from Detroit area if you have an issue with blacks. So I think this was potentially a slip of the tongue. Call me naive, but again, I think ultimately at the end of the day, if the players are like, it was cool, we move on, or no, we need to. This guy's got to go. So we'll see. Slugs, though, interesting.
Well, what
That's
it
a good one.
is,
That's a good fallback.
What it is that, and I've never really liked this. It reminds me a little of. I'm going to compare it to with Bo Pelini in Nebraska, where okay, it's an issue, we're done with it, we'll move on, even if let's say it gets to that point hypothetically. If things record-wise don't hold up, then when they let someone go, they call back to incidents like this as part of the reasoning. So what it has done is given like someone, hey, we put this in the back pocket, even if we do move along, and if we get to a point where we need to let a guy go, we can even bring this up as part of our
Right,
reasoning. That's what it could end up being.
Right.
I've never really liked that, but to me, it seems like one of those that it blows up enough to where you get to the powers that be get to back pocket it and say we might need to use this at some point.
And it could be, to that point, Gardner, this could be a moment where, like I said, there has been friction at the beginning of the season, Chris, between these young players and this new college coach who's now at the age of 66 is jumping in to a head coaching job in the NBA. And there are a lot of young guys on that Cleveland team outside of Tristan Thompson and Kevin Love. And like this was some of the fear people sort of had about an older college coach taking over the reins of an NBA team, because that is a complete culture shift. You're the man on a college campus when you're a head coach. You're not even the fourth most important person in the locker room when you become an NBA head coach. There have been, like, just think about it. I don't know how many people even know that Frank Vogel's the coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, everything is so centered around the players that a lot of people were wondering if a guy like Beilein, who has spent so much time in college being the man and micromanaging everything, could he make the adjustment? And before this incident, he struggled. And like I said, Kevin Love was literally on the court a week ago pouting on the court. He was so frustrated what was going on. We're talking about Kevin Love, potential future Hall of Famer, just pouting on the court because he was so frustrated with what's going on. So he may have been losing the locker room before this incident. So this may ultimately be the straw that breaks the camel's back. I am willing, though, and even in the crazy world we live in, to think that even Beilein knows that, no way is he out here being that flippant. I would like to believe. I'm willing to give the benefit of the doubt, Chris. See how
You're a benefit
welcome
of
me
the
out.
doubt.
I'm a hero.
You're a hero.
And I'm bridging our communities. You're welcome.
Displaying
Take that, Trumpy Bear.
heroism constantly on this show.
Why are you?
What?
Nothing.
No, just showing what you display. That's
Okay.
all. Heroism.
Speaking of heroes, Justin Bieber's coming to St. Louis.
Hello.
Is he?
It's official. It's going to take on Benny. You heard about this?
Oh yeah, I don't know when though.
Skills challenge.
I don't think it's then.
Here, I'll
Is
pull
that what
up
it
the-
said?
Yeah, I'll pull it
Because
up.
the last update I saw, it was going to be in the off season. Is when they said it would be likely. Now that's the last thing I had read. And of course, you saw Bieber yesterday reveal that he's been
Yeah,
dealing with Lyme disease. Yeah. Because I guess he felt the need to make that public because people had been asking him about how he looks or something. He
When's the
made
last
some
time you
sort of
guys got
Instagram.
Lyme disease?
I try to keep those ticks away from me. I remember when I would play in the woods as a child, my mother would make me go into the bathroom, and I'd have to take all my clothes off and look for ticks. You got to really make sure you check areas too.
Oh boy. I would love for Bieber to come to
Got to
St.
check
Louis.
the taint.
If Biebs came to St. Louis, I'd be pretty excited about that. That would get me to come out for the All-Star game. I would.
That's what it would take.
Yes.
So if he didn't,
All-Star game's the 25th.
yeah.
So is he coming to the All-Star game, or is this going to be set up some other
They
time?
haven't said it. People are saying that's what Bennington was saying. It's like, come on, let's do this. And then people are trying to get him to come for the 25th. That would
Yeah.
make a lot of sense.
The last thing I saw said it was more likely to happen in the off season.
Okay.
And that they had talked about that, I guess, Bieber's and the Beliebers got a tour probably this year, or does have a tour this year,
Right.
coming through St. Louis in July. So then it would make sense possibly then to do something.
Yeah, I think.
No details on when it will happen, but Bieber performs in concert at Enterprise Center July 13th.
I would generally possibly. That should be at the end of just even the Stanley Cup, should it?
Yeah.
All right. So
Or
then-
after that.
Yeah.
It's
So
after
that'd
the
be a good
Cup.
time. Maybe he comes out to Centene, to the brand new facility in Maryland
Yeah, it
Heights.
could be
and
something like that.
Invite the fans over, raise some money. Maybe in order for you to get tickets, all the funds go to charity.
Oh.
So that would be a pretty smart play. I give Bieber credit. If it's one thing, I know we say enough about these type of celebrities, but the guy does put his money where his mouth is. He does involve himself in his charitable adventures. So I
Does
think
he?
this is pretty
I
cool.
didn't
This
know
is
that.
Yeah, I'm one of the believers. It's Bugatti Bieber, as I like to call him.
Why you call him
Because
Bugatti?
man, he clean. That boy clean.
What's
Boy.
Bugatti mean?
Bugatti, man? He just baller.
Is that what Bugatti
Yeah,
means?
man. He Bugatti Bieber, baby. He's smooth. He a baller. He big time.
Where does
Justin Bieber,
Bugatti come from?
like the car.
What's a Bugatti? I don't know what a Bugatti
It's a very, very, very expensive car. They're generally, I mean, they start around $250,000, $300,000.
Is Bugatti who makes them?
It's Leotis Bugatti.
Who?
Leotis Bugatti.
That's
A lot of
another
people don't know
thing.
that. He runs a Bugatti shop.
Bugatti shop?
Mm-hmm. Leotis. East Memphis. A lot of people don't know that.
Oh,
East Memphis.
that's where this all began.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't sound right.
No.
I bet. Do your research.
Okay, I will. I'll look up Bugatti and let's see what we have.
No, you don't got to do all that. You ain't got
Well,
to
you
do.
told me to-
Look, the internet's
Did
down.
you guys see the All-Star jersey release?
I did. I saw the practice jersey release. Also saw the billboard they're floating around.
France.
Oh, shit. Damn it. I saw the billboard also promoting, I think, Perron as the final player for fans to vote him in. I think 3 Blues are currently going. Is it Petrangelo, O'Reilly, and Bennington?
Mm-hmm.
I got that right? And then, of
Good.
course, Craig Berube is going to be coaching one of the divisions.
Berube.
And then, so Perron could be the 4th member. I see TJ Oshie may get some love, too.
Oh.
That'd be really cool for him to come back to old Enterprise.
fun.
Fans can shower him with praise. Should be a fun weekend. Blues are playing very well. They're at the top of the Western Conference. Right now, they would be the number 1 seed. They're coming off a Stanley Cup. This is going to be a fun weekend in St. Louis.
January 25th.
We had our good friend Carls Lawrence in here yesterday, and she illustrated how it's the NHL thing. So a lot of the details I think will start to roll out here in the next couple of weeks, but it's all NHL. So that's probably a reason why Bieber and Bennington couldn't arrange anything over the weekend of the All-Star game, because it's a complete NHL production. But this should be fun. I'm excited to see it.
You can vote NHL.com/vote. And you
Things
can
are on
vote
the
for
up and
Dana
up.
Perron.
I even hear, like, this is going to be exciting because I hear the aquarium and the restaurant and Union Station has been a huge hit.
Looks like it.
So that's going to be big now, and the timing couldn't have been better. So now you have all those new food shops down by Union Station, which of course is right down the block from Enterprise Center. So when fans arrive from all over the world to enjoy the All-Star festivities, they're going to have a lot of fun here in St. Louis. I've heard nothing but great things about the aquarium opening so far. It's been apparently
You gonna go?
a 3-hour wait.
I'm gonna try that soda
I've
shop.
been like, yeah, I heard the soda. I heard that's been a wait as well. It's just been like people literally lined up around the corner. So go ahead, St. Louis, with your bad self, starting off 2020, trying to stunt. I see you.
And go across the river buy marijuana.
Hey, man, things on the up and up. And shout out to the Collinsville location when it comes to marijuana. A lot of Illinois stores are having to briefly shut down because they are running out of product because it's been so massively popular.
Yeah, Collinsville's-
Collinsville store, they've been like, we prepared for this, baby. We know St. Louis.
They've
We
been
know how y'all
rationing.
roll.
They've been rationing.
They have been rationing. And they like even
Hilarious.
some of the things on their menu, they have purposely kept off from being available because they knew something like this would likely happen. So shout out, man. Look, I love it because yesterday, I saw the Missouri governor talking about, we don't have money to repair these roads. And I just laughed. I'm like, Illinois, we'll probably have some here soon.
Southside Tone wanted me to start an Operation Pothole, and involves the selling of
marijuana,
pot
yeah.
to fix potholes.
That's good.
That's where
I
the
like
money
that.
could be
I
dedicated.
like that. I like that.
Put a marijuana leaf over all the.
Thank you.
busted holes.
Yes.
So that we get the message out there that
Yes.
this is what is fixing your roads
Very smart.
is marijuana, is the pot. So pot for potholes.
I like it. I like it a lot.
So we could start a campaign. Maybe that's the campaign that we start to kind of facilitate, to expedite the process here
Right.
of bringing recreational marijuana to Missouri.
Yeah.
Maybe that's how we sell it. Because it's not just, it's okay, decriminalize it. This is how it should be. We need even more of a branding, of a marketing point, and maybe that's the point we go with.
Right.
Maybe we launch that campaign tomorrow.
I found it interesting too. The governor of New York, Chris Cuomo, Andrew Cuomo. I'm getting him confused with Chris Cuomo. off
Yeah,
CNN.
the liberal
Excuse me,
hack.
Andrew kind of like, wait a minute, that's not Andrew Cuomo, who is of course the
Busy
governor.
watching CNN
Nah,
last
no,
night?
Excuse me, my liberal bent. But when I was in New York, he was hell bent on being against recreational. He was a person that people were like very surprised that as a Democrat governor of New York, that he was very reticent to expand recreational
So
marijuana.
a lobbyist had been hanging out with him.
Apparently, because yesterday he announced that he is absolutely rolling out the red carpet now for the state of New York to go forward with recreational marijuana. So I don't know what has happened in the 6 months since I was last there, but apparently, as Chris alluded to, somebody got into his ear, showed up at one of his fancy dinners, and now all of a sudden, recreational marijuana could be coming to New York in 2020.
The thing is,
it's
like,
not that bad.
we just keep dealing with it on a state level. We just need to do it federally and just get it over with.
That's the thing I don't understand. Like, if you're saying that this election is going to be on the thinnest of margins, and everyone who's in the quote unquote no analysts think it's going to be a close election, no matter who the Dems nominate. If that's going to be the case, then wouldn't you look at issues that are overwhelmingly supported by both Democrats and Republicans? And the number one issue that is overwhelmingly supported by Democrats and Republicans is marijuana. So I'm curious, why wouldn't a guy like Donald Trump simply go, bitch, it's legal? If Donald Trump can unilaterally call up a strike to kill an Iranian general, you're telling me, Donald can't just simply go, sorry, marijuana legal, all 50 states. Who's going to stop that guy? And to be honest, who on MSNBC is going to argue against that? I mean, there's not one personality, because everyone's saying, the Democrats hate Trump. They'll hate him no matter what he suggests. There's not one voice on MSNBC that would stop this.
They would find a way to spin it.
Well, yeah, if he
hey, he needs to do this because of this. That's all you have to do.
True. But I think that would be a smart political play.
Now, you would argue against the point or
Right.
what you're doing.
Right.
You would argue the motivation. You
Right.
would spin it towards the motivation.
But my thing
That's
is
simple agenda driving.
But I think not only do you then change the subject in many regards, you take an important issue off the table from Democrats. That's a huge issue that could ultimately drive a lot of liberals to the polls in 2020 in a lot of states, because Illinois obviously won't be the last state to put forth a ballot issue that allows recreational marijuana on a state level. So you would imagine there are a lot of other states considering this too. What a play it would be for this president to simply go, just take it off the table. Federal marijuana for everybody.
Yeah, if you do that, hold Trumpy Bear.
Give me that Trumpy Bear, Chris, if you don't mind. I'll do it here.
It makes it a whole lot better when you do it that way.
Hey, libs. I know we haven't been getting along like ever, or at least since I used to attend those Clinton charity events. But look, meet me halfway. What if we just go ahead, add a little green, make a little green, it'll be beautiful. Marijuana for everybody. Take that, Pocahontas.
Oh, boy.
Take that, Larry David. Suck on that, liberal media. Trump the best.
Okay.
See.
Nice.
Thank you. That was good.
It would have been more real if you would have slurred some of the words.
No,
though.
sorry. Okay.
Yeah. But,
Anomalous. Anomalous.
okay. Much better.
Huh? Get it all figured out.
God, that would, how pissed off Democrats would be if Trump did that? That would literally be genius.
I tweeted at the president this morning.
Gardner.
What'd you tweet him?
Oh, please, God.
He tweeted out 47 minutes ago, U.S. cancer death rate lowest in recorded history. A lot of
Please
good
tell me he
news
did not take credit for the lowering of the. Oh, God, please tell
coming
me.
out of this administration. And I said, do you have the windmill cancer death rate available?
Oh, no, don't do that. That's not funny. Come
Why?
on, Trump. Don't do that. Come on, man. You can't, just one day, can you not? Stop, man. Don't do that. That's fucked up. That's.
Yeah. So that's all.
Come on, man. Y'all go. Gardner, why did you tell me that? I stay on Twitter for that exact reason.
Yeah.
Why'd you do that to me?
Because of that.
Oh, a boy taking credit for lowering cancer.
I need to correct myself too. Let me read this Bugatti thing from Wikipedia.
Okay, I'm sure it says Leota's Bugatti.
Bugatti was a French car manufacturer of high-performance automobiles founded in 1909 in the then German city of Molsheim,
Typical.
Alsace, by the Italian-born industrial designer Ettore Bugatti. So I just got confused here because I see France, Germany, and Italy all involved in this Bugatti. So
That's all. Wait, and where are you reading that from?
this is on Wikipedia.
Wikipedia. You racist as hell.
Why?
You gonna sit up here? That gibble garble.
That what?
That gibble garble.
What's a gibble garble?
That mess you just read right there.
A mess is gibble garble?
The mess you just read was gibble garble.
What's a gibble?
Yeah, you know what it is.
I don't. That's why I'm asking.
Oh, it's what you just read.
Is that a hero's word?
That is what words heroes use because that was bullshit. Leota's Bugatti in East Memphis in actually 1900.
Gibble is in Pokemon.
That's typical Germans. They steal everything.
Why do you like stereotyping so much?
It's easy shorthand. It allows me to be
Yeah,
lazy.
you don't like when you're stereotyped.
Nah, that's different though.
Why?
I'm more tired. So when you stereotype me,
Mm-hmm.
that exhausts me. But you guys have the stamina to endure it. You guys, we just need, let us have 6 decades of us oppressing white people, and then we'll be even. How about that? Just pass that legislation.
think
We
that's
get
how it
6,
works.
60 years. Allow us, just give us 60. Give us 6 decades to oppress you,
Yeah.
and then we'll be even.
Sold.
Thank you. It's a pretty decent deal. Going to call him a coward now?
I don't know where that went or how that's going to go.
All
but
right,
I hope
cool.
it works.
I don't
well.
plan on being here for 6 decades. That's
Agenda.
why. That's
I'm
why.
going to check out by decade 2.
Yeah, I sold you all out.
Gardner.
I am a sellout,
That's a way to do
and it
it.
was quick.
You didn't hesitate.
No.
He didn't want to hear any additional terms. He was done. When he
doesn't matter.
heard the years, he was like, I'm only going to be around for half of that anyway.
Yeah.
So
I can make this work.
I can make that work.
Well, that's
Would that
just
be a
smart.
deal? Do you think there are white Americans who would say, all right, you can't talk about race ever again if we give you 60 years to oppress us? Is that a deal that you, being inside the white community, would be willing to take back to your leaders? I'll wait.
They don't want that
They don't want that.
because they're afraid of how you would oppress them.
We would
Well, just prove.
we would do things differently. We wouldn't do exactly the same things you guys did. We would mix it up. Huh?
Yeah.
We would
How would you oppress?
well, the first thing I would do is introduce crack to your community.
I've tried crack.
And your thoughts?
Don't remember a whole lot of it. Drunk.
Exactly. So that's what we would do first.
I
We would-
remember it feeling a little like mentholy in a way. I don't know.
I think the thing that would absolutely piss you guys off when we designate all American golf courses as cookout spots.
Oh God.
That's just rude.
Do that to
No
St. Louis
respect for
Country
the
Club.
game.
I know. I'm just thinking about the idea of just thinking.
I'll join you for the St. Louis Country
You
Club.
want to see a rebellion? You want to see the South rise? Watch when black people start turning those golf courses into cookouts and basketball
You
courts.
you can't be on the green like that.
No, we own the green because we got green, if you know what I mean. Huh?
Yeah.
And then we're just gonna probably just start locking up white people because, I mean, what else are we gonna do?
Just lock us up. or-
Yeah, we'll find a reason. We'll make something up. Oh, my life was in danger. He was resisting arrest. Throw him in jail for 6 months.
Oh. That's it? That's all you got for oppression?
We'll probably also cross the street when you guys are walking towards us on the sidewalk. We will probably eliminate baseball. You guys, and I'm sorry. And we're just going to start a second basketball league.
Oh.
Yeah. NBA The Deuce.
The Deuce?
We'll have a sequel to the NBA.
An NBA, does it need a sequel?
No, well,
The
why
sequel's usually not as good, right?
not? Why the hell not? And then, of course, we're going to have a dress code. If there's one thing my community is about, is dress codes. We're going to make sure you guys aren't
A lot of
leaving the
starch
house
in
looking
jeans?
stuff, man. Shoot, you better get familiar with your cleaners.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'll go into more detail for Blackuary.
Oh, will you?
I just reminded myself I need to start preparing for Black Hero.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll. I'm sure you're gonna have quite the presentation.
Oh man, it's gonna be good.
You have a tough one to live up to with Cocktoberfest and with how much of a success that was.
That was very successful. What I'm also offering, I'm willing to submit an amendment where we extend the show by another 15 minutes in February, only because I only get 28 days. Now Gardner got 31. Now, to be fair, I'm not asking for more days. I'm asking just for more time on the show.
No.
So I am going to file that amendment. We will bring it up tomorrow because I want to bring the amendment. I want a vote because I'm all about democracy, baby. We can do a vote. Gardner, you can argue for or against. Chris, you can do the same. Then we bring it to a floor vote, send it back to the committee, make some more amendments, bring it forth one more time for one last vote, and hope that
What if it's declined repeatedly?
then I'm going to have to go to the big guns. I'm going to have to go.
You're gonna do the nuclear option.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to have to go get the big boy.
You get the Trumpy Bears on your side.
We'll see. It's an election year. Anything's possible. Anything is possible.
Okay.
Lot covered today. We're happy with the work we put out there.
Oh, okay.
Big thanks to St. Louis Counseling Services for backing the show. Check out stlouiscounseling.org online for their services and the podcast Mental Health Matters. Also, Tech Electronics makes all the lovely equipment in here work just fine. And you know what else they do? They hire you. If you have a tech background in the St. Louis area, they're looking for great people. Check it out online, Tech Electronics. Family-owned, 8 locations throughout the Midwest. Guys, anything else before we get out of here?
I want
Any
to play.
shout-outs?
I want to play a game tomorrow.
Okay.
Involving The Office. And I'll just give you a little sample here right now. I'm going to pop up on the screen.
Okay.
It looks like there's this GIF that you use. It says you're stuck in the car for a long road trip with 3 people. The first 3 people you stop on is who you're stuck with. Who do you get?
Who do you
So
get?
Just kind of stop
Ryan,
it.
Andy. Oh, this is a brutal road trip. And Michael. Oh, my. That's a brutal road trip.
I
That
can't
is
even-
the worst. Oh, that is, oh, my. That's terrible.
I can't think of a scene where the 3 of those 2 are together alone.
Gosh, I don't know. Yeah, that's a good question. But,
So we can get into
Oh.
that just a little bit tomorrow.
oh,
And we'll talk about it.
That'll be good.
Okay.
All right. Well, we'll be back tomorrow. I believe comedian Ian Finance is going to come by at some point. He's with David Tell this weekend at Helium. So we'll get into that. For Travis Stroh, for Chris Gardner, Trumpy Bear, we're back live tomorrow, 8 a.m. See you then.
Peace. Beautiful peace.